I was gonna say, who could this be? Who could this shadowy figure be? But then it already says here. It says Karma, so obviously it's Karma. Yeah. Karma's gonna save us. Amazing. Hey. What is he doing here? Why is he in his disguise? I mean, probably because he's on his night patrol, right? I assume he doesn't stay in his, like, disguise when he's patrolling, as far as I know. Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. Is what? Unhand her, gentlemen, or taste my blade. Sir, we were just gonna take her to the palace to... I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the other draws his sword. I stare at Karma, who continues to count through the night. Or he continues to count, though the knight attacks him before his sword leaves his sheath. Karma, the knight trade blows, but it is Karma that comes out victorious. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock the knight out with a blow to the head. It may just be my imagination, but for a few moments I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me hold. It repeats. So holding me holds up his hands in surrender. Give up. You, sir. It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. Please, sir. Ow. Karma knocks him out and then stands beside me as he sheaths his sword. You know, in every anime, not just anime, but in general, like in media, it always seems so easy to knock someone out, but like, I don't think it's that easy. You know, usually when you knock someone out, you can't. You know, either like you hit them, it doesn't knock them out, or if you hit them hard enough, then it knocks them out, I guess. But like, they'll probably lose consciousness for like a few seconds, but they're just gonna wake up. You know, in a few moments. So I don't know. It feels like when you knock someone out, especially for example, like in a video game, you knock them out, they stay knocked out for a long time, longer than usual, or whatever. But anyway, Karma, a few moments, Lucette. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from Val down each of the knight's throat. I watch him quietly, fearing that he might have killed them, but the knights only seem to be asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. Will make the men forget they ever saw you. Okay, that's useful. That's very useful, I guess. When Karma stands again, I notice the glimmer of the blood in his hand and stare. You're hurt. It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess, let's go back. He pulls me right out onto the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Excuse me. Karma has saved me twice now. Actually, thrice? He saved you like 3 times, actually. Not only that, but this time he's injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. How did that work? Like, I guess the sword, like, literally just cut his hand, you know? Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually, I notice people start to stare. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Is his curse thing working or something? Karma. Sorry, princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is... his curse? His stalkers? His yandere stalkers? I don't know. Karma. I just said I'm not in the mood to talk. Do you not hear me? We're being followed. He stares behind us, almost stupidly, and then laughs hollowly when the girls sees his face. They start to rush toward us, their voices rising and blend together in a horrendous cacophony. Him and his fangirls, oh no. Karma's not moving though, he looks resigned. Or maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tighten my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming me angrily for taking Karma away from them. Ray! Lucette, what are you doing? Getting us out of here. Lucette. I lead him through the town and into the little nooks and crannies where you imagine lose some of the crowd. His own harem. Amazing. I mean, I guess we technically have a harem, but not really, I guess. You know, like a visual novel, like any kind of visual novel that's adapted to an anime, they often make it into a harem, you know, sort of. But even though technically we go through the routes one by one, but I don't know, unless there's like a weird true end where we literally have all the boys to ourselves, maybe? No, probably not. Because then we would have our own harem instead, reverse harem anyway. Karma often led me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Once we were alone again, I stopped, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. It really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. Lucette. What? I don't mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. Though to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew I didn't want Karma when he stuck trying to fend off all those girls. He was right about his curse. That's terrible. I should realize something. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse has people forget me, and yours has even strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposite of each other, and yet we seem so similar. You know, we have. I mean, I was gonna say we both have red hair. I don't know. Lucette probably it's not red hair. It's kind of like brownish. I don't know hair, like light brown. Oh, anyway, my eyes widened when I realized what I just said. We are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyways. My feet are heavy, and all I want to do is sleep. But suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Lucette, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and made it more difficult on you. It was all so sudden, and I was tired and I had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You shouldn't have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too, because I lost sleep over this. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess. Mwah. Kissing the hand. Very, very elegant. Very, like, classy, you know? I don't know. Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Suddenly, all my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful. But a delightful handful. I'm going to bandage this hand and then rest. We'll speak later about all of this, okay? The blood. The bleeding stopped on its own, Lucette. But it doesn't need to be treated. Don't worry, he'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie. Not even for the sake of a pretty lady. Karma lets my hand go as soon as we enter the Martian, and then bows politely to me before heading back to his room. I watch him go, my mind whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? No, I don't think so. Okay. I mean, isn't it always a thing? I don't know. I always see, like, at least, like, when trying to be, like, fancy, I guess, you kiss the back of the hand, right? When you're greeting, like, a princess, I guess, you know? Like, in a medieval fantasy setting, so I don't know, does it mean much? I don't know. Maybe it's romantic, I don't know. You really are a handful, but a delightful handful. Yeah, okay, flashback from, like, a few seconds ago. Its words keep repeating in my head. I cannot stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand, lewd. You know, gone from hand-holding to hand-kissing. Oh my god. My face feels warm, and every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma. He puts on that overly polite act with everyone. But then I'm pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this. I need to tell Parfait and Laura what happened. Because at the time I returned to the Martian yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. It is quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma is sitting on the table speaking quietly with Parfait and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. I cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. That's how scandalous, you know. What next? What are we gonna do next? I don't know, actually. What would you do next? Hand holding? Hand kissing? I mean, obviously, there are other ways. Other things you could do with hands, I guess. Anyway, his injury is my fault. So you have yet to hear the entire story? No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that correct? Waltz has been directly involved in this far longer than you have. Well, what about Waltz? Princess, you're up early. They all turn to look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber but still smiles at me. Oh, Lucette, how nice of you to join us. When did he start saying my name without my title? Lucette, you run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you'd be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How would I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. I even wore a cloak, too. Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge in my arm, and Karma is holding out my cloak with a tired smile. Oh, you went back to get this? When? Oh, yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these last few days, Karma. It's nothing. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess thanking someone? Why is that something so strange? Oh, come now. She's not so icy. Lucette is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Confidence has got me nowhere so far. Yeah. Don't look so dour, Lucette. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures toward me and I flush. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Then I notice Delora's eyes are on me too. Oh, Parfait, do you see that? What are they looking at? I reach down to grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. I assume we got another part of the glass slipper? I guess we didn't notice it this time. Or something. You know, the first time we did it, it was like, whoosh, magic! And then we, oh shit, like, you know, we have the necklace thing that's actually filled up with a part, but I guess we didn't notice it this time, I guess. When did this happen? Oh, Princess, you didn't realize that there was an extra piece to your necklace. Well, congratulations, Princess Lotette. You are a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Lisette, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. I wonder what would happen if we did help him. I don't know. I mean, I imagine maybe a battle royale for his love. I don't know. Does it start killing each other? I don't know. Maybe not. Wait, helping Karma escape was a good deed? Well, she was selfless. There's nothing mentioning the injury he got protecting me. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping? Well, kidnappings, both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Well, let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of it? Oh, be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? I have no choice but to agree with Parfait and Delora, or when Parfait and Delora refuse to say any more, but I'm not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I go around sweeping with Mr. Broom and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now, I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it will answer some of the questions I have. Why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Yeah, I mean, I assume we're gonna hear the same thing, right? They that, Mother's a witch, and we're a witch, and we're gonna be destined to be the next town brown bearer and everything, I assume, but let's see. Laura gathers everyone in the town to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be all romance, would it? Rumble. How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie? The two glare at each other across the table, but Laura silences them. Laura starts with a story about the Great War, one that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Brown Bearer, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairytale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I thought to act, it was too late. Knowing that Laurent Parfait was involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Brown Bearer killed? How can the fairytale curse continue to spread if she's dead? I believe that the Brown Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Brown, all to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairytale curse. Is none of this ring a bell for you? What are you talking about? Okay. We are learning some bits, I guess, that we didn't learn before. I guess, yeah. I mean, I think they mentioned it, but I think the queen was the Brown Bearer, right? I don't know. I can't remember exactly. I guess our mother was the original Brown Bearer, and she was like a kind witch, I guess, but went crazy? She really did erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Brown Bearer, was your mother, Princess Lucette. Okay. I might have forgotten. I don't know if they glossed over that fact, in the broad route, but yeah, it's more, I guess, a little bit more detailed here because her mother, I guess, yeah, she was she was a good guy, right? She was a good person in the beginning, but then, went crazy from grief, I guess. And I guess that's why she's taught Lucette to be this way, because, I think it's because, yeah, she's not trying to be a bad mother, but it's from her own experience, right? Probably because, I don't know, probably because she trusted humans so much and yet they betrayed her and everything. That's why she made Lucette not trust anyone for her own safety, at least in her own eyes. Maybe, something like that, I'm guessing. What? Nanny? My mother was a witch? Huh? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who is one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch Hidir. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother she wasn't a witch, I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war and the years before that. Under Hidir's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hidir was defeated. She's defeated, so I don't know. I guess she was, fought off, and then she sacrificed the rest of her life to power up the Brown curse or whatever, or power to power up the curse and blah blah blah. Anyway, that goes for the rest of us too. We were slaves to Hidir. Laura's eyes flickered to Waltz. It's the truth. Waltz noticed because he's also a witch. Oh, okay. Do you say that before? Maybe. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know. Because he has the Neverland curse, but he's also a witch. I guess I didn't really think about that. I just assumed because he had the Fairytale curse, that's why he knew about, Lucette and everything. But he's also a witch. No. I don't know. Maybe I forgot, but I think maybe we said this before. I don't know. He experienced Hidir's command over the witches for his hand as well. So yeah, Waltz is a witch as well. Waltz is a witch, Nani? Sorry for keeping it a secret, Princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyway, not when I'm cursed. Oh, this is just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hidir's reign. Witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. He does possess some magic, at least, yeah. I mean, I remember actually in the prologue, we did see Walt do some magic tricks, right? You know, there was like a CG art for him as well, you know. Hey, magic! And everyone would clap, right? And he had a crowd. But I remember Lucette saying that it was like a magic trick, right? It's like not actual magic, but like, you know, just like a illusion, right? But I guess it's real magic, as it turns out. So it's always been Ophelia that he truly loved. Was that the reason I've never fell in love with him? Because I was my mother's daughter. He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me. My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel a crack beneath the pressure, and suddenly, I want to cry. The mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason, I trust him more than I trust the Laura and Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hadir and her daughter Lucette. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hadir was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? Well, a daughter of a witch? I mean, that's literally what it is. You're a witch as well. Whether or not you were ever taught to use magic, on your upcoming birthday, you will become the Terebram Bearer. You realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me? A witch? The king never said anything. And now can I ask him if this is true because I'm cursed? Why would you even curse me? We didn't want to repeat that tragically, Lucette, you know? We didn't want you to grow up to be like an evil witch and then shoot fireballs out of your hand and murder everyone. I sang your shows for almost a year, Princess. Was that really the thing? I was wondering, yeah. Did you, like, be a doll, like, literally? Or was it like a Magic 2 where you're listening to it like a radio? But I guess you were literally a doll for a year? Huh. Doesn't that kind of get boring? I feel like that would get boring. You know? There was ice in your heart. If you had inherited Terebram in that state, who knows what would have happened? Why did you just tell me any of this? Well, I mean... The Laura and Buffet look at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who had ever tried to tell you about Hadir's true nature. That's probably true, but now I'm having trouble believing that they're telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it's collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else, but... Why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir of the Tenebrarum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angel with the fairytale curse. The men that were looking for Lucette were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and knights are working together. This must be part of Alcaster's scheme to steal the throne. What are you talking about? The reason why Garland and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Alcaster's coup. Okay, interesting, we learned this, early on. Unlike before. How would he know the princess's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. But we now know there is not just the witches looking for the princess, but the Knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Lucette? Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder, and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Dear, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum Bearer, a witch, the first witch to kill a human. I don't know, who was this human? I assume they probably deserved it, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, we don't know who this human was though, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't judge. The witch that started the fairytale curse. All this time I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stayed in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I have been told. And again, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Karma is just, I don't know, more like girly as a man than he is as a girl. I don't know. Bishonins, you know, Bishonins. They always, I guess, look very feminine. Anyway. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. I guess it's not true though. I don't know, depends, I guess. And probably because of his long hair. Or maybe that's why. These last few days I felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it will make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Now, Lucette. I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I've not spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and the witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Still, I came here on my own, and I cannot just stand here being mute, like Rod. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Durian and Garland? I'll only trade on Garland. Durian's on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. It seems you did too. Lucette, are you okay? I'm sorry I have been by to see you. Not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly want to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever have wanted to pair up with someone like me anyway? Why, princess? That's because I'm bitter and cold. Even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now, I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. It's not selfish. Maybe so. But I believe you're being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. That reminds me of a certain, ally of justice named Emi Ashiro. Anyway, before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Happy? Ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment towards everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That's why I cannot complete my good deeds. Wrong. You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Lucette, regardless of the motivation. You're trying to become a better person. That's what matters. It takes a step towards me, and he puts his hand on my shoulders and leans down so I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It makes sense? Yeah, I'm assuming he's speaking from experience. Anytime a person gives advice, usually it's because they've know firsthand, at least story-wise anyway. It is never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Lucette? Standing too close. He's standing too close. Don't move. I was stepping away from. With his face so close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. Karma's hands tighten in my shoulders, and for a few moments, I feel a slight panic rising in my chest. Then Karma steps away with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Lucette, feel free to push me away. What? It's better that way. What does he mean by that? You never answered. Re-listened my story. Maybe you should have pushed him away? I don't know, it's weird. This is weird. Alright. Keeping his promise, we did tell him a story. He's gotta tell us a story back, remember? The cupcake, eating the cupcake with a knife and fork. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brugantia. Alright? I assume Is this totally about him? He's totally a prince. I guess he's a prince. Okay. Makes sense. Brucantia, or Brugantia? Is it Brugantia? Brucantia? Brugantia, maybe? Yeah. Brugantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms, so this isn't make-believe. His name was Claude Aldric Rinaldi Matthews Almonte. Oh my god. But because the name was such a mouthful, he set up an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace, where it was acceptable. Okay? Karma. Karma. Claude Aldrich Karma. Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then, one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object and broke the woman's heart, and she cursed him. That beautiful maiden was a witch. Prince Claude found it too late. I mean, yeah, didn't do that. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He's been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assume he is dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angeal seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Lucette, who on her 18th birthday could dispel any curse. Karma. He looked so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude. Okay, calling his real name now. Karma, or Claude, turns a startling red as he stares at me, and for a few moments, he does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Is that your real name? No, darling, it is. But hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. My cheeks are warm again. I was like, he has always to make me feel this way, probably because like he's a Bishonen prince. I will call you by that name and make you so happy. No, let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Kira. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. More special. At that moment, Garland shows up for practice, and Claude politely excuses himself. I watch the two of them trade blows. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's like me, a noble curse for being selfish. How do I break his curse? Why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Julian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. The two men sheathe their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? Garland. Yes, princess? You're dumb. Claude told me that before that confessing is hard. What Garland's going through looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable, but you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If you say something wrong, I risk losing everything I already have for her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have for her anyway. I guess that's technically a point. Well, who says right? Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. But before, Claude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess to Durian. What changed? If I mess this up... Well, let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine that Durian's Lucette. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? I frowned at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? Yes. Well, you and Durian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess? My eyes moved to Claude, but only fleetingly, before they were once again on Garland. Well, you just need to do something simple, Garland. Something that will not rub her the wrong way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he's looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and I have to look away. Lucette, you're tomato red again. It's adorable. I cross my arms on my rapidly beating heart again and force a scowl on my face. No, I was just thinking about what Garland could do. Something simple, like when Karma kissed my hand. Garland kissing Durian's hand is probably not a good idea. Doesn't fit him. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did that one day in town. He can buy her some food, and they can just give Saber some food. That makes perfect sense, actually. They can just talk. Yes, talk. Garland, have you ever just asked Durian out for food? I'm not alone. Durian is practical, and she always eats at a tavern. She's also always on duty if she's available. Well, I'll take her patrol shift 2 nights from now then, and tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. We can make your invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls, or I could give you a rose. Nah, that sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, I'm offended. It feels like if I did something like that for Durian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady I know. Claude grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Garland, just ask her normally, and then when you're out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposely come late to practice tomorrow night so you can ask her out for that date. How's that sound? You two really think I can do this? Well, you just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure we'll go swimmingly. Or I could drown. You won't drown, Garland. You will drown in despair, maybe, Anna. Garland excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now, Lucette, we'll come here tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. Spy on them? Of course! We need to make sure their efforts pay off. Ah, yes, the old, anime stalking date episode, I don't think we should. You don't want to see how it plays out? I immediately shake my head. I'm unable to put my emotion to words. For some reason, I imagine myself in Durian's position, and it feels too personal. Claude's likeness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Karma, the ultimate wingman, amazing. Or at least Claude, anyway. His real name is Claude. Lucette, you've been oddly out of it today. Claude reaches out a hand toward me, then abruptly pulls away. Even though now he's approving of Garland, confessing to Durian, but initially he didn't want that to happen. I wonder why, I stare as he smiles at me almost sheepishly. Sheepishly. The conversation between us dies and we return to the Martian. Days pass, and though I did not spy on the conversation between Durian and Garland, I noticed that Garland has been smiling from ear to ear during his practice with Claude recently. Okay. I mean, obviously they're gonna end up together, unless Durian has someone else in mind, but probably not. No other character has been introduced, that would have Durian's eye, I guess, or something. Is that the right term? Having someone's eye? Is that? I mean, not literally, but I don't know, anyway. I can only assume that his confession went well. Claude took the patrol shift tonight, and as I lay in bed, I am restless. Every time I watch Claude practice with Durian and Garland, I'm reminded of the palace, of Fritz. I wonder how Fritz is doing. Is he still practicing with the other knights? He's probably dead? I don't know. I don't know, though. I don't know what happened to him. We never know. My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. Claude had saved me every time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air is cool, and no one stops me from standing just outside the Martian. I cannot just sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I do not want to get Claude to get hurt because of me again. Eventually, I see Claude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual, but when he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Now, Lucette, what are you doing out here tonight, love? Love instead of darling. That's new. Hello, Claude. His face is dark red again. If you're using my real name, I suppose you've come to ask me for something serious? How could he know that? I do need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm right here, love. What? Oh, is this not about... Oh, never mind. I'm asking you if you'll be my instructor. For some reason, I seem to have caught Claude off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. What? I want to learn how to use a sword. I want you to be my instructor. Oh, okay, that's... Oh, yeah, I was mentioning before, it'd be cool if Lucette knew how to use a sword, you know? She's now like a warrior princess. Let's go! Yeah! Claude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use a sword. I do not want you to have to keep protecting me. I don't mind protecting you. I do. Claude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. I don't know. I think a lot of a lot of medieval fantasy, like especially RPGs, princesses sometimes they use swords. You know, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I guess they're the cliche, like cleric healer type, but sometimes they use swords. You know, especially fiery princesses like Lucette. You know, depending on our personality, actually depends on like how they act. You know, actually influences what they do, you know, as like a class, I guess, like an RPG class, you know. I can totally imagine someone like Lucette being like a warrior knight princess, you know, like full plate armor and everything. I don't know. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You are. I do not want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Teach me, please. Claude. Once again, he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction and is both amusing and endearing. Claude, is he... I don't know, why is he... I don't know. I guess it's just because it's from Lucette's lips, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Like, why is he so flustered when someone's mentioning his real name? It won't be easy. I wasn't expecting it to be. Claude stares at me for a long time before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine, I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the knight's training swords. Thank you. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? What? Oh, you said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? He looked exhausted when he came in, and now he wants to train? Already trying to get out of training. I'm not. Claude shakes his head but is smiling. I'll see you there in a few minutes, love. Love. Darling, love, what's next? Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with a gentle light. Long minutes pass, and as I stand in the clearing, I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Claude to be late. He's attending to his injury. I hear a rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is. The minute I do, I'm pulled back by strong force, and my world goes dark. Huh? Any? Oh no, we die! Before I can scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Okay, maybe not. Listen one, Lucette. When apprehended by an enemy that you can't see, remain calm and use your 5 senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. Oh, this voice is coming from right behind me. You know, isn't that kind of dangerous? If you do that to someone so suddenly, they might just like, I don't know. I mean, she has a training sword, right? Even though it's a training sword, I imagine it's like a blunted instrument. You still hurt someone with that. Yeah, I just imagine like, and then she like hits him in the head. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know if he's bandaged. Claude, I've become aware that this is the closest he's ever been to me. My back pressed to his chest like this. Panicking disorientates the mind, or disorients the mind. That's why you must remain cool under any circumstance. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm. Listen too. Enemies will often let their guards down when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponents off guard by remaining calm and locating this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Claude instructs, and I feel it's a bit easier, but only because I know it is Claude. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so I can swing an elbow back at Claude's stomach. Before that happens, Claude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I have put between us. In the process, he moves his hands from my eyes to my mouth. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponent will usually always be stronger than you, Lisette. Remember what I said about a weakness. Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they're winning. Now yes, the classic, anime villain gloat, where they, say like, I totally win, I'll take over the world, you fool, my evil plan has always been a success, haha, and then the hero, powers up and then the villain dies. Just like I have. An opening. A thought occurs to me as I glance around me and then down at Karma's bandaged hand. Can we actually see the hand, or... I want to save just in case I accidentally, somehow skip or something, but can we, is there a way to, I guess not, I don't know. I don't know if there's, a way to, make the text box, invisible or something. I don't know, maybe there's, a hotkey, maybe not. Maybe there is. Renpy? I forgot if there is, a hotkey for Renpy to, make the text box empty, because I can't see his hand. Maybe I can't remember. Is it this hand or that hand? I don't know. Either way, it doesn't look like it's bandaged actually on his actual default sprite. Anyway, Karma's bandaged hands over my mouth. Is this an opportunity or a trick? What will you do, princess? What kind of tactic will remove you from my grasp? I mean, we could totally just bite his hand. That sounds horrible. He he has an injury on his hand and everything. Did it heal yet? You might just make... I mean, in general, it's kind of bad to bite into an open wound anyway, because, it might cause you some disease. Having other people's blood in your body. But, I mean, unless we know CQC... I don't think we can topple him, so I mean, we have to try to bite him? But then again, he has his hands on our mouth. How we... I guess... I don't know, I'm trying to think, how can we bite him? I guess open our mouth and drink like that. Alright, that's it. This sounds like a horrible decision. Let's do it. I'm going to feel terrible about this, but I have to try. I try to shift my head to get no space to bite down, and even Claw cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I injured, bite the hand that feeds, Unable to do anything else, I immediately shake my head, and I hear Claude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns at me. You're not even gonna try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not gonna bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think about that. But you made it so obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. Oh, I meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to lose. Oh, is that true? I don't know. That's true? I know that, for example, when someone tries to grab you, you actually do, for example, if they're grabbing their wrist or whatever, a good way to get away from their grip is to actually turn your wrist in a way that you're facing, I guess, parallel to their thumb, where they meet their finger, and then pull away from that, because the grip of where their thumb is actually the weakest point, or whatever, something like that. Or pushing it back or something. How does that work actually? I don't know. I don't know, all this self-defense, all the tactics you would do. I don't know. I'm not an expert, so I don't know. Oh well. But how was I supposed to know that? I don't know my close quarters combat. Well, experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have a complaint about that particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, love, but not good enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that, I was expecting sword practice. Well, you weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? I glare up at him, unable to say anything because he's right. You're oddly quiet. Well, it's hard to find an opening to hurt you when you're not really my enemy. He does not move but continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to schmooch. Close enough to what exactly? Lucette, do you trust me to protect you? That's not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning on investigating the witches on your own. No, I want to be able to protect myself because I don't want you getting hurt protecting me. Claude leads down and I can feel his hair at my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop, and all I can hear is my heartbeat and his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let go, do you? Claude pulls away from me before I can respond, and he's standing again, offering me a hand. Let's get started with some sword work then. The pleasant smile is back on his face. I can never tell what he's thinking at times like these. What are you really like, Claude? Claude Ulrich Matthew I don't remember his full name really. All these nobles over there, really long names. When I returned to the Martian later that night, my hands are scratched and I think I had my bruises on my arms. I was not joking when he would not go easy on me, but he did compliment me more than once. Lucette, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. Impressive. Crying is for the weak. Though everyone should be sleeping, I notice that the light is still on in the tavern. I see Jurian and Garland up at a table, speaking with each other and laughing. If Claude had come back with me, he would be happy to see this. You two are still up? They are not surprised when they turn to face me. Well, good days like this are even better when stretched. I have been off duty a long time. Did you both have a good time tonight? It was great. Garland knows these little places in town that I've never even heard of before. I notice that Jurian is more energetic than usual, her smile a little wider than normal. I wonder if she's drunk. I'm gonna get another drink. Another drink? Garland needs to warn me. His voice hushed. We've already bought a replacement bottle when we went out today. We would never take anything from the Martian without money. Right, is Jurian drunk? Oh no, princess. Tipsy. It's like a buzz. Fades a lot quicker. Oh. Garland and I watch Jurian as she refills her glass at the bar. I have to thank you, princess. I would never have asked her out if you and Karma had insisted on it. So you told her? Garland looks at me with a pleased smile. I'll take that as a yes. She didn't really realize it until much later. I just asked her out for food and she thought that's all it was. Or maybe surely we really did need to be told bluntly. What happened? I told her, and we talked and remembered old times. Oh, he sounds like an old man. And I held her hand, lewd. I noticed Garland flinch ever so slightly, but he's smiling. He looks pleased with himself. And the night's not over yet, so we're totally gonna bang anyway. He trails off with a hopeful smile before he raises his eyebrows at me. What about you and Karma? What about us? I've asked him to train me. Train? Princess, you've asked him to teach you how to use a sword? What's this? Our princess is gonna pick up a sword? Jurian returns to the table, but I'm too tired to properly join in the conversation. I should leave them to the conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. I excuse myself and to head upstairs. I'm startled awake by the excruciatingly bright light. It is momentarily, and when it's over, I'm sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. The sunlight! No! Actually, I think it's from something else? Oh, I guess it's from his pendant. I was wondering maybe it was just the light, sunlight. I guess not. My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. Oh, okay. We did another good deed somehow? I guess with Garland, I guess. Or like a good deed, I guess. We were like, again, like a winged woman. There's another piece. When did it When did I do another good deed? I don't know. Weird. I grasp the necklace tightly in my hand as I make my way to the tavern. Everyone is doing their pre-morning chores when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma glaring off in space, and not far from him, 2 knights. I'm going back to calling him Karma or something, at least on our thoughts. They haven't been up all night, have they? I make my way slowly over to them. Oh, even back then, you were like some kind of shadow, weren't you? You don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were telling me back then. It was only because I was worried about you. I realize you didn't really have to follow me, Lan, but I'm glad you did. Lan? Lan? Jurian. Oh, shush. Fritz used to call you that too. Oh, I guess Garland. Lan is Garland's childhood name. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. I see. What are you two talking about? Oh, we were just reminiscing. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. Both of them exchange a glance before looking at me, confused. Well, what? How did your date go last night? Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Julian's eyebrows quirk and then she laughs. Oh, that. It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see that the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Julian is usually busy taking her rounds around the marsh with a scowl on her face. She looks happier being here with Garland, more relaxed. You might even say that we're dating. Dating, nanny. Isn't it funny how red he gets, princess? You were blushing just as much as yesterday when I... One more word, Lan, I swear I'll punch you. The two of them are blushing now, and the scene is oddly comical, like a romantic comedy anime. Who knew that 2 great knights of the Order of Kaldir could be so easily undone? Both of you are amusing to watch. The two of them stare at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remember that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. They were talking about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact they all served the king. I always thought Drury and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, without the stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosities pique. Do you mind if I ask you what your reasons were for becoming knights? Oh, my father was a knight. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Julian's father was a living legend in his own right, and he had the medals to back it up. My father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Judging by the look on Julian's face, it is clear to me that she really loves her father, unlike us. My mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lan and his family. Or Lan, a local area network name, Lan always got annoyed when I called him my brother. Oni-chan. Now I know why, because it would be weird. Julian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Then why did you join the Knights, Garland? Well, because he wanted to watch over me. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Garland seems to blush even harder at that, and Julian's laughter becomes infectious. I feel amusement begin to bubble up as I watch the two of them. The cold voice cuts through the laughter and atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. 1,000-degree hot knife, eh? No. That's still a thing? I don't know. That was a thing before. 1,000-degree knife or whatever. That was a meme? I guess not. Not anymore. I don't know. Could you keep it down over there? I turn to see that Claude's eyes, normally so warm or cold, his usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Oh, sorry. He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I can tell him about the necklace. Karma, I got another piece of my necklace. Another good deed. Claude turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. Well, that's nice, darling. His voice is calm but flat, and lacks any enthusiasm. That felt lackluster, and oddly disappointing. And he needs his coffee. Get this man his coffee. A good deed? Congratulations, princess, you're close to breaking your curse. What did you get the good deed for? I'm not sure actually. Maybe it's for helping Lan confess. I hear you and Karma went on your way to help make it happen. Well, that happened yesterday though. Or maybe the magic was waiting to see what became of Garland and I. Maybe, I don't know. Claude makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. If you two insist on being so affectionate, you should go get a room. Are you being a little jealous, maybe? I don't know. Affectionate? I mean, I kind of understand, you know. You know, when a couple is so lovey-dovey all the time, it's kind of like, you know, it's a little annoying, especially when you're single. The Julian smiles faded away to a dangerous scowl, where Garland looks confused. Aaron looks notably irritated. The shadow is still on his face. Claude does not look okay at all. Why is he so angry? Again, is he just doesn't have his coffee, or is it something deeper? You know what? We're gonna scold him. Haha, you can't act this way. You can't act this way to your friends. It doesn't matter if something's bothering, it isn't like them to be so rude. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Fine, I apologize. Happy? Okay, that didn't help. He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisting to a defiant scowl, but doesn't hold long. Moments later, his expression softens and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Okay, so you gotta be stern, you gotta be like a stern parent, you know? Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with the two knights. I wonder what's wrong with him. You think we've been running him too thin because of practice? I do not think it's you two. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from saying what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange. Yeah, I don't know. Distant. And recently he's getting more and more moody. Princess? I look over at Anise, who is smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Broom is getting kind of restless. Well, time to sweep, I guess. Time to sweep. Well, maybe cleaning will help get my mind off of things.